I'll stir fry you in my wok. Drop. I know what's going on. I'm picking up what you're laying down on there, B-Sod. Hey, gang, welcome to the final live show of Talking The Orville for 2024. We're getting rid of this stupid 2024 business. We're moving on up to the 2025 side, you guys, to a deluxe spacecraft in the sky. And by the sky, I mean further up in space. I don't know if they can really, I guess they can fly in the sky. The Orville flew in the atmosphere of Kalon Prime. So I guess I was wrong. It's in the sky, you guys, in the Kalon skies. What is going on? Merry holidays. Happy almost New Year. Now, there is going to be another live show before the end of the year, but not on this channel. In the new upcoming Egotastic Fun Time channel over on the other YouTube channel. Maybe there's a link in the description. I don't remember if I got that far when it came to all the to-dos that I needed to do. Hopefully it's down there. If not, I'll be bothering you saying, hey, there's another live end of the year live stream going on next Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right on the YouTubes. It's a Saturday. That's a whole other thing. I got to put out some Egotastic Fun Time videos before that happens. But that's not here. It's there. It's not here. This is our time. This is Orville time. And we are excited for the Orville beginning production on season 4 in 2025. Now, this is a for sure thing. The 2025 season 4 thing. That's a thing that is actually happening. That I know for sure. Exactly the date that the Orville begins production. Now, Scott Grimes said January, February. There was a couple websites that said January. I don't know. I have no idea. If there's something to talk about the Orville, the internet is talking about the Orville. I'm going to pop on and talk to you about what the internet is saying about the Orville. Me personally, I don't know if it's going to happen in January. It might be March. It might be April. It depends from what everyone has been saying. Whenever Ted season 2 comes out is when they're able to start making the big announcements. Oh, the Orville's coming back. We're going into production, stuff like that. All I know is every single season of the Orville, I personally, with Talking the Orville, have to wait a very long time. I have to keep things going. I have to keep my mouth running for a very long time before there's more Orville to talk about. But I'm so happy that there will be eventually, sooner than later, more Orville to finally talk about. And now I'm realizing I should have poured myself some water and brought it in here before I started this live show. But hey, Dems to breaks during the holiday seasons is busy. Are you guys busy for the holidays? I am very busy for the holidays, not only with my new job, which takes a lot of time out of the week, let me tell you. But I like my new job. And then, it's the holidays. There's all these things I want to create and do, which I keep trying to do a little piece at a time before someone needs me for something. So I'm trying to just arrange the schedule. But it's the holidays. Things will eventually die down. Barry Howman, what is going on? Nice, a little intergalactic planetary. Boom, you get it. B-Sod's like, that's it, sir. Deck, double channel member Deck. Deck is right now, I don't know how long this is going to last for. It's up to Deck. Right now, Deck is a channel member for this channel and the new Egotastic Fun Time channel, which is a big channel. There's 108,000 subscribers over there. Hopefully, I can keep them with all my new content coming out. Lone Puppy, Samwise, great to see all you. Joy Don, thanks for showing up, Joy Don. It's always good to see you, Joy. And I saw some other names here. Now I'm starting to get all mixed up. I don't want to repeat names. Seth MacFarlane is here. Hey, Seth, how you doing? Jay Lee, what's going on? How you doing, man? No, I'm just kidding. Those people are not here. How are you guys doing? How is Brian Dawkins, official channel member? JP, my health failed me, so I am retired. Your health failed you? I'm very sad to hear that. I'm really sad to hear that, Brian, because I think about health a lot because I've been an unhealthy person uh, all of my life. Now, I don't know if your health is just from something else. My health problems and issues and lack thereof of health has always been self-inflicted, not exercising, eating wrong. I used to smoke. I used to vape. I quit vaping completely a month ago. So I'm like, you know what? I think I'm addicted to this. I don't want to be addicted to anything. Got rid of the vape. It was a rough couple days, but I got through it, and now I'm absolutely fine. I haven't vaped in a month. Um, just because all of 2024 and a lot of 2023, I was starting to realize I don't feel good. I'm like, I'm not that old. I shouldn't feel. I know so many people that are my age, and I've known people that are my age that don't feel old and run down. Why do I feel that way more so this year than I did last year or the previous years? How can things change so much? So, first thing I did was got rid of the vape. When I got rid of the vape, within 1 day, I started feeling better. And I'm like, oh, that was part of it. That really was part of it. I was just taking a guess. But within 1 day, I was like, oh, I'm starting to feel normal. And then I changed. I'm always trying to refine my diet. I've been doing that for years. You know, I got rid of soda like 8 years ago. Now I'm just on bubbly water. I used to drink a lot. I've been honing that down, and now I hardly drink at all, and that makes me feel better. I've been eating. Uh, uh, I haven't been snacking at all. I usually eat once or twice a day, and then I have a good 12 hours before I eat again. And that has made a huge difference in the way I feel. I feel so good all the time. And I'm coming back, and I'm like, you know what? My brain's clearing up. I'm starting to feel better after having a really bad 2024. And now my brain's starting to think of things to create. And that's why I'm really excited to start some of this egotastic fun time stuff that I got in my mind. And I want egotastic fun time to have no limits, no boundaries, meaning whatever I've learned from the YouTube gurus over the last decade, I'm throwing out. I'm like, you know what? This is all junk. This is all get rich quick schemes. And it gets into your mind and it stops you from creating things and wanting to do stuff because you're always worried about all the things you're doing wrong and trying to do things right, but you can't do everything right because you're only a human being. I'm not a Kalon, you guys. And so I'm throwing out the rule books with egotastic fun time. I'm just gonna put out what I want to put out. I don't care if it's a highly edited with animations type video, and then the next video is just me driving the car, staring at the camera, and nothing going on. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I realize if you want to create stuff, just create stuff. Forget about all the rules. I'm a rule breaker. I'm a rebel, you guys. So that's egotastic fun time. But I decided to be smart and not try to hurry into doing that because we got a lot of talking the Orville going. There's always going to be talking the Orville. So I'm trying to figure out how to do both and still prioritize this new job that I have, which I'm really excited to have this new job. It's made me feel so much different than I have in the last few years, just trying to race around, trying to figure out what to do. What can I do that people are going to care about, that people are going to watch, that's going to help support me make the next thing? Grasping at straws, basically, in the YouTube world. And now I'm also realizing, hey, there's a lot more than YouTube out there. So I have started a TikTok channel. I mean, I started a long time ago, but I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to put out more than just Orville stuff on there. A little bit of me, a little bit of other comedies that I'm into. Just a hodgepodge of different stuff. And I'll be figuring that out as time goes on. There's a lot going on. I'm just trying to stay away from Facebook. And I was staying away from Twitter for a while because I've been tired of Twitter for years. Tired of all social media, to be honest. But now the other day, Twitter gave away their Grok AI program to everyone. Everybody can use Grok to create stuff. And you guys, I'm on an AI kick as far like right now I'm designing a Christmas card of my family for the holidays using AI. Just a little bit of refine here. It's some of the AI scares me. I posted it on here. I created a picture of Seth MacFarlane as a cadet. I created a bunch of Seth MacFarlane in the Orville type pictures that were completely AI generated. And I'm like, that should not be allowed. I shouldn't be allowed to falsify the image of a person, because people will just believe it. It looks real. I'm like, I can do some dangerous stuff with this. And there's going to be a lot of people out there that will do dangerous stuff with that. So I'm like, okay, I need to figure out a way to use AI that's in a more appropriate type of way where I'm not taking advantage of anything. Maybe I'll make a picture of something from the Orville and then just animate it a little bit like a camera's moving around, but not making them really do anything. I'm trying to be responsible with my AI because I really do like AI. Brian Dawkins became an official channel member again, re-upped. A member for 4 months, but we really know it's more than that, Brian Dawkins. It's more like a bunch of years. But for this new Talking the Orville channel, it's 4 months. Thank you very much. Brian says, how is Nicola? I hope you and your family have a good Christmas. Oh, we are set up to have a great Christmas. The fact that I've had my new job for 2 months now leaves me able to not only pay the rent, thank goodness, and pay my car bill, thank goodness. It leaves it so I can fill the stockings a little bit. I can get little candies and little treats and little bits and bops, and we don't go crazy with presents, and we had a lot of presents, but we don't buy anything expensive. I think my stepson, I bought. He can't hear, so I'm going to get close to the microphone. I bought my stepson a guitar tablature book and a guitar strap. The end. And then I bought my wife some stuff, but just in case she watches this live stream, which I'm sure she won't, I'm not going to say what I bought her, but I bought her a couple of little bits and bops as well. We don't go crazy, but we're going to have a great Christmas. We got a lot of bits and bops wrapped under the tree, and we're making sure our little dorky puppy doesn't eat too many of the gifts. She's already eaten 1 or 2. I had to rebuy one thing, but she's been good the last week or so. Deck laying down that super chat. Thank you very much. Extra Xmas Cash. Thank you very much. And as you all know, all super chats go to keeping the lights on, because that's the position I'm in. Anytime I get money, it always goes to keeping the lights on, because keeping the lights on is the most important thing. It allows me to show up right here so we can hang out. And there's going to be a lot more hanging out when it comes to the Orville. What am I seeing? Oh, we're on Twitch right now, by the way. Dom Klein 33. Welcome. Coexistence is impossible. Well, you're coexisting on Twitch right now. We're on YouTube and Twitch. Everybody go on to Twitch, check out Dom Klein 33. I hear their channel is amazing. They got all the Dom Klein stuff going on over there. Brian's talking to Barry Hellman. I am working on it and had a lot of tests. Oh, it must be talking about your health. Now, Brian, almost got mixed up with Barry because it says Brian Barry on my screen. But Brian, do anything you can to get that health going. Sometimes just drinking water helps motivate you enough, make you feel better enough to do the other things that you got to do. So whatever you got to do, I hope it's something that you are able to do to feel better, because feeling bad isn't fun. It's not great. And we want all of us to be around for a long time, because we got a lot of Orville to talk about over the years. Not only are we in season 4, but, we're going to be wanting that season 5, that season 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 will be good. They can stop there. That's because that's when we're going to start doing some spinoff series. But yes, hang in there, Brian. Oh, and you asked about Nicola. Nicola is fine. Nicola's my cat. She's a very petite Maine Coon cat, a sweetheart. She's been hanging out in the kitchen for weeks. If you ever want to know where Nicola is, she's probably going to be in the kitchen right now, and I don't know why. But she's always been a cat that goes through phases. She'll hang out in the kitchen for 2 weeks. She'll hang out outside for 2 weeks. She'll hang out in the bedroom for 2 weeks. She's always picking a new spot. And but right now, for 4 weeks, I think it's been the kitchen. I do hope she picks a new spot though, because the kitchen isn't that convenient. Because we like to keep the kitchen clean, and it's hard to do that with a cat, a very hairy, petite cat walking around, hanging out all the time. But Brian, I hope all the tests go well. I hope you're able to improve. I hope you're feeling better. And if you're ever too down, just pop on some Orville. Orville always makes me feel better. Don Klein says, you were talking about AI, so I did an Isaac quote. Yeah, I've been learning the heck out of AI right now, because it's a prompt world. AI is very prompty. You got to tell it what you want, and it's going to try to figure it out a little bit, maybe. But AI is, the things it creates is kind of a fever dream. So you really have to really fine tune it. So like if you want to create one thing, the way that you want it to kind of look, you have to create 50 things. You have to keep prodding it and prompting it to get what you want. I'm just trying to get it to make a picture of me and my family all Christmased up in a cartoon style, so we can send it out all over the place and say, happy holidays, everybody. Hope you get all your presents. But yesterday I was actually using it quite a bit. I'm really trying to fine tune. Really, it's for the purpose of learning how to do it more efficiently. But I was trying to create the not for an official version of it, but just for a shiz and giz version of it. The Orville fan film that I'm trying to write. I was trying to get a crew shot on the ship that I will then put into Photoshop. And what I like to do is I like to make something in AI and then put it in the Photoshop and alter it the way that I want to alter it, and logos and stuff like that. But I can't get too far into that because we haven't announced the fan film yet. Eventually we will. I'll have Alec Peters here from Aries Studios, and I'll make a video where we're announcing what it is and how it's going, and a little bit of what the story's going to be, because it's such a big story. I'm a little overwhelmed because I'm trying to condense it, but I want a lot of things to happen in this what should be a short story, but I'm going to make it a little bit longer. But I have a lot of things that are tying into the Orville side of things with the fan film side of things. I want to introduce not only certain things from different episodes, things about the universe that we already know, but also I want to introduce, mix in some stuff from the comic books as well. Kroom with the super sticker. Thank you so much, Kroom. I can put stuff on the screen. Look at that super sticker. I always forget I can do that. King Duck. And Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and Ringo. And the King Duck. Let's put these other ones on the screen here. Deck. We got a super chat from Deck. We got a membership from Brian Dawkins. And is that everything so far? Okay, good. I don't want to miss anybody. So what are you guys got going for the holiday season? I'm just so happy that I have a job. It is insane because the last couple of years it's just been, pretty scary every holiday season, every season. But now I feel a lot better and I'm excited. And next month on this channel, it'll also be on Egotastic Fun Time because it's presented by Egotastic Fun Time, but it'll be taken down after the stream is done, but left up permanently here on this channel. We'll be doing the season finale of the Orville RPG game. Continuing the adventure. We're almost done with our storyline. And then we've been talking recently, and I'm like, okay, I want to do a second season of the Orville RPG, but it's going to be different. It's going to be showier. I want to have an opening theme. I want to have credits. I want to have some ads thrown in there that's created by us, not just the YouTube ads. And I want to edit it down to a tight game, and it's actually going to, spoiler alert, these are actually going to take place on the Orville within adventures that you already know about. So we're going to be replaying some of the adventures from some episodes of the Orville in season 2. But season 2 is going to be the second half of 2025 because they're going to be requiring a little bit more work to create, a little bit more laying down some storylines, making sure the games fit within the storylines, making sure those storylines coincide with the episodes of the Orville that we are trying to play inside of, and it'll all culminate with I have a really great idea for a finale, but that's later on in the year. There's a lot of other things to do before we start putting that show together. Barry says, not much, just staying home and took a few days off of work. So when I start my time off, I don't go back until January 2nd. Oh, time off. That sounds good. Though I just got to the point where I'm having time on. So I'm actually working on Christmas Day. I'm working Christmas Eve, the day after Christmas, all of that. I'm working all the holidays until July 4th, I think. I have Valentine's Day off, but that's not really a holiday, you know. But all the usual holidays, I'm working right now. But I don't mind. You get time and a half, and I've had a lot of time off in the last few years for the holidays, so I'm happy to be back with time on. But I'm glad you got time off. Barry says, that sounds amazing. Are you still going to play Jay Pulio, or is it going to be a whole new character? I am playing Jay Pulio in season 2. Chaz might still play his jelly roll, Barry. I think Alex is going to still play. We have to talk about it. He might still play Cat, but it's going to be a different version of Cat. Because Cat's got some big reveals coming up in the next live show next month for his character. So we're going to find a way to incorporate that into season 2. And then we're going to try to have at least one really cool guest appearance every episode. And you never know who might stick around. But it's going to be very different. I decided that if it's going to work for a second season, because season 1 was me learning how this board game RPG style works, and now I've learned it. So now that gave me that inspired me to come up with all these ideas. So what I want to do for season 2, this is another spoiler alert, but that's okay. You guys are cool. You keep it under wraps. Is season 1, like most campaigns, most games, tabletop games are serialized, big long campaign. This is going to be episodic. The characters will be serialized, but the storylines for each episode will be episodic. So it'll be kind of like the Orville, where the Orville is episodic, but the storylines amongst the characters kind of continue on. The relationships evolve and grow. So it's going to be like that for season 2 of the Orville RPG, and we'll see how it goes. But I got some really cool ideas, and the finale, I got a really cool idea that I will not spoil, but it'll hopefully end up being the jaw-dropping thing that happens, because it's not going to be expected. No one's ever done it before, but it'll be very Orville-tastic. It'll be in line with the Orville. Dom Plain says, we need a show for the Orville's sister ship, the Redenbacher. Oh, the Redenbacher. See, right now we were in this season of the Orville RPG. We started off on the Redenbacher. Excuse me. And I believe we ended up recently back on the Redenbacher in the last episode. Can't remember. Are we still on the Redenbacher? We might still be on the Redenbacher. A lot of stuff is going on in that Redenbacher ship. Next season, we will be on the Orville, but there probably will be a Redenbacher somewhere within the story. That's for sure. We need the See, we have the Orville, we need the Redenbacher, and we also need the the Wright's Flyer. Wasn't that the name of the first Wright brothers aircraft, the Flyer? I can't remember. Happy holidays, Chris. Kevin Scott. Kevin Scott says, "Hey JP, Merry Christmas." Merry Christmas, you guys. I hope you all are familiar with the tale of Rudolph. Comes in very handy this time of year. Always reminds you to be who you are. All the strength you ever need, all the advantages you ever need are already within exactly who you are right now. It's in there. It's in there. If you don't feel like you're your best self is in there. You just have to bring them out. Yes, Barry knows. Barry says, yes, you're still on the Redenbacher. Chris says, sorry I'm late. Is there an exact start date for production of season 4? Should I be worried if there isn't a start date by now? First off, I don't know the exact start date. Second off, don't be worried at all. I know officially, I was told officially by the official people. It's not, the information's not out for the world yet. It's not out there for the fandom, but it is out there for the friends of the show. Because I'm not only a fan, I'm a friend. It's official. They have been renewed for the 4th season. Scott Grimes seems to think that production starts the beginning of 2025. He said January, February. I don't know. It could be March. All I know is I think it'll be before summer. Spring sounds about right because they got to finish up Ted's season 2. They're getting close, but these things don't ever go exactly to plan. They got to wrap up stuff, and I don't want them to finish filming. I don't want them to wrap Ted season 2 and then the next day show up on the set of the Orville, take a week off, take a couple days, and then come in. But plus, the start of production doesn't mean everyone shows up and starts doing stuff. It means a small team shows up and starts sweeping and laying out plans of what's going to go where and this and that. And that takes a week or two. So, even when production starts, it's not going to be super exciting until a month or two into the process. People got to start showing up and hooking up their computers and their desk fans, and they got to figure out where Kermit the Frog goes. It's a whole to-do. But then eventually, once everyone's set up, it'll start ramping up, and they're going to be applying makeup and having readings and pressing record on their cameras, on their little cameras there. And then it'll be in full swing, and then they'll start posting stuff. They're like, they'll post a behind the scenes little picture where you can't really see much, and you probably won't be able to see the uniforms because I'm sure the uniforms will be slightly different, and they don't want to ruin the surprise of the slightly new uniforms until the first trailer comes out and you can see the new uniforms, and then they'll start posting pictures that are a little bit less covered up. I remember in season 3 they were posting pictures of behind the scenes, and you'll see Bortus there or whatever characters are there, and they're all covered up with a blanket. They're posing for a picture, but they're covered up in a blanket because they don't want anyone to see the uniforms. They've learned over the years to keep things as hush-hush as possible because I'm going to get my hands on it and I'm going to share it with everybody. So they probably do that because of me, because in season 2 I was giving away a lot. And Seth used to hate me. I was talking one time. I was talking to Tom Costantino on the phone. I think it was the very first time I talked to him on the phone years ago. And he says, I do not know how in the world you got Seth MacFarlane, who hated you, to now love you. He loves your work. He loves what you're doing. He talks highly of you, but he used to hate you. And I'm like, I don't know. I just started being less of a internet creep. I don't know, but I'm glad because he realized I was a fan. And so once he realized I was a true fan, everything changed. Yeah. Kermit goes on the desk, nowhere else. That's right. Be funny to see if they ever do flashbacks on the Orville. I don't know if they'll ever do a flashback because flashbacks are always kind of weird in a live action setting unless they're able to really do some effects that make it look like the actual person and not just another actor playing a younger version of the actor we already know and doesn't look anything like him. If they ever do that, I would like to see how Kermit got involved, where Kermit started. But yes, Chris, do not be worried if that we don't know a start date. Technically, we don't even know that the Orville has a fourth season because they didn't tell us. Well, they told me, so I'm completely confident. But the rest of the world, they haven't made a huge announcement yet, but they will eventually, whenever it's right, whenever it's for the studios to make the announcement. The studio will make the announcement when it makes business sense to make the announcement. But we'll probably get it earlier than that once Seth and the crew are allowed to start saying something. I just don't think they're allowed to start saying stuff until we get Ted out of the way, because Ted doesn't want any distraction from their show, and it's a great show, and I don't want their show to be distracted from either. But once it's not a distraction anymore, Orville talk's coming. I mean, you'll even see some of the other actors, even if they're not saying anything directly, they're still posting Orville stuff on their social medias, even today. I posted that Orville AI short that I made, talking about, the little test video I made. That's going to be one of my bigger videos coming out soon. Hopefully soon. I got like 5 ideas. I got 5 videos I'm working on right now. Hopefully I finished one of them at least. I posted that on Instagram, and Scott Grimes liked it. Like a week ago? Scott Grimes liked the video, so they're still interacting with Orville stuff. So it's a very good sign. But I don't need any of those signs. I got it directly to my ears. Well, actually, no, it wasn't to my ears. I got it directly to my eyeballs on my phone. Chris says, why did Seth hate you? Were you overly critical of the early episodes? I was never critical of the episodes, but I did spoil a lot. I found out stuff because I used to be a sleuth a couple years ago when I had the time to be a sleuth, and they weren't as careful as they are now with secrets. I found out that Alara was leaving the show months and months early. Many months, to the point where it was so early that when I made a video about it, everyone was telling me I was crazy and that it's BS, this and that. And then lo and behold, this season came out. Bye-bye, Alara. I found out it was Patrick Warburton. I found out it was Jason Alexander. And when it came to the, I think the big thing, though, was the Alara leaving. Because Halston Sage, there was a whole relationship rumor between Seth and Halston, and I was talking about that, which is all kind of scuzzy conversation now that I look back at it. And it's not the type of thing I talk about now. I don't like talking about that. I didn't even like talking about it then, but I was like, I got to figure out how to make videos. I don't know what to make videos about. So there was that video, and it was a huge video. So so I know that got back to him, and he doesn't want his personal. Nobody wants their personal life talked about by strangers on the internet, right? And so there was probably that. And then after a while, I just kept putting out Orville stuff, and it just kept getting more and more as became more and more of an homage to the series. And so then he started to get it, and he was like, "Oh, okay." And there was even times back like when Scott Grimes and Adrian Palicki, they were married, and she filed for divorce, and then they're back together. I made a whole video about that, and then I never released it because right when I was about to release it, I said, no, this is none of my business. Why am I making a video about this? I'm not the Inquirer. This is celebrity gossip. That's not what I'm about. So I deleted that video, but I spent all day making it and doing research on it and writing it and filming it and all that stuff. TMZ, exactly, Dax. I am not TMZ. And that's why I never did you know, there's a lot of people thought I was going to become like a typical YouTuber. You know, I was talking about the Orville, so they wanted me to talk about everything else. You know, every show, every movie, Star Trek, Marvel, uh, anything, all of it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I tried it a little bit, but I was like, I don't like this. I like talking about the Orville because I'm coming at it from a fan point of view, and it's not like a the TMZ thing, the what's wrong with it, what can I, how can I bash it so you'll watch my videos? Because that's what a lot of, especially at the time, what a lot of YouTube reviewer videos were about. And I'm like, I don't want to be a reviewer. I just want to be a person that likes a thing and talks about the thing that I like. So I never went that route. That's why this channel just became mostly all Orville, because I like talking about the Orville. Brian Dawkins says, check your PayPal. Shall I do it right now or should I wait? More like TMJP. Thank you, Brian. I very much appreciate it. But if you got to get some medicine and you need to put some money into that medicine, do that. I mean, I always appreciate the support, and the support is very much needed. I need to really make not only this channel, but Egotastic Fun Time channel work. It has to work because I like my job a lot, but it doesn't pay that much. Dex says, JP, the ultimate Orville insider. I try to be, and I've been very privileged to have gotten some not only inside knowledge of the show, but friendship from the show. I consider these people my friends. They're all great people. I care about them. And I think that was another reason I stopped myself from putting out that Scott Grimes, Adrian Palicki video. So I'm like, wait, I care about these people. I don't want to gossip about these people I care about. Chris Andrew, thank you so much. Thanks, JP, for all the fun content this year. Well, I wish there was more. I wish there's more, but man, I got so down and out this year with the whole YouTube thing. And most of you know about YouTube demonetizing me a year ago. That whole thing, man, that made me all just give up all the way. Just say, you know what, I don't want to see a computer again for the rest of my life. But then getting this new job, starting to have some own steam under my own engines, being able to pay the rent. It's still like, oh my God, am I going to have the money for rent? But I usually do have the money for rent. Having that, it's all really made me feel a lot better. I don't show it, but I've been pretty down for 2024. But I'm feeling better now, and I'm excited for 2025. And I got all these ideas and all these things I'm trying to do. Now it's getting to the point where I'm mad. I'm like, leave me alone. Oh, I gotta go to work, but I'm right in the middle of creating this picture. I don't even need to create this picture, but my mind won't let me stop creating this picture I'm trying to create. So it's nice to have all these things that I'm trying to do creative wise and not being able to do it. It's better to not be able to have enough time to make these things as opposed to having all the time in the world and not feeling like making the things. Oh, John Smith. They were talking about this at work yesterday. I have not seen it. I want to see it. I've had opportunities to see it. John Smith is asking, did you see the trailer for the new Superman movie? I have not seen the trailer, but I have seen pictures from the trailer because it's being posted everywhere. And I see we got Nathan Fillion. I see we got what's his face playing Lex Luthor. I see we got the Super Dog. The Hawk Girl is out there, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the tone, but I am a huge fan of James Gunn. I like everything James Gunn does because James Gunn comes into a project and says, let's not take ourselves too seriously. And I like that theoretically. I haven't seen it, so I don't know how I feel about it, but I like James Gunn's not taking things too serious. Yeah, Crypto the dog, because for a long time there, especially with DC, they were starting to take themselves too dang seriously. Where I'm like, this is a drag, man. This is a drag. And then they had the Flash character show up. I'm like, well, the Flash character is kind of fun. He's kind of quirky. I prefer the CW Flash, but this guy was all right, even though he turned out to be a creep. But there was fun there. And then James Gunn started making like Peacemaker, The Suicide Squad, which I loved. Peacemaker season 2 is coming out very soon, which I'm really excited about. Oh, and don't forget, going back over to the Marvel side, Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is what brought me back to the Marvel cinematic universe, because I was getting really tired of Marvel. Marvel was getting too serious. And then Guardians of the Galaxy came out. I'm like, oh, this is fun. This is a cool hang. So hopefully the new Superman movie is like that. Real quick, pictures that I saw. The guy that plays Superman, I'm like, I saw him as Clark Kent. I'm like, okay, I can see him as Clark Kent. I still don't see him as Superman. When I saw him in the Superman outfit, I'm like, I don't know if that looks like Superman yet, but you just have to get over that stuff. We got these things in our heads that we've grown up with, and they're cemented in there. And sometimes you just have to let it go. Like Ghost Rider didn't look like what's his face? What is his Nick Cage. Boom, Nick Cage. Ghost Rider didn't look like Nick Cage to me, and now he does. So, Barry says, love Guardians of the Galaxy. And Chris, did I put you up on the screen for that super chat? And by the way, again, thank you for that super chat. Very much appreciated. Going to keep these lights on. We're always keeping the lights on. So yeah, I have not seen the Superman trailer, but I have a lot of opinions about it. But I'll have more opinions once I see it. Yeah, Barry says, yeah, you got demonetized for a long time, for a year. And I wasn't doing great when they demonetized me, but I was doing okay enough where I can pay some bills. And then they demonetized me. And it became an uphill battle. And all of it was like, well, what do I do? What do I do? Let me try this. So I'll spend some time doing this thing. That didn't work. But I've already spent all this time, so I'm going to have to try something else. Let me spend a bunch of time with that. Oh, that didn't work. What worked was getting a job. And so now, getting through all of that and figuring out the things that I needed to figure out and learning the things that I needed to learn from the process, I now have 2 monetized channels. Neither of them are doing that great, but I haven't had the time to really dive in because part of it was like, okay, things got so bad from being demonetized that I have to dig myself out of the hole that I was put into by the situation. And I'm like, you know what, JP, take a few months, work a little bit on the YouTube stuff and the social media stuff, because you don't want to leave completely, but also make sure you're focusing on this new job and focusing on getting caught up and getting debts paid. And so 2025 is going to be a continuation of concentrating on this job, getting bills paid, saving up money to pay off all debts, and making a lot of new content, because now I'm starting to get the groove of what type of content I want to make. It's just finding the time to do it. So I at least have a little bit of time every day. Today's my day off from work. So I'm like, okay, I got to get back to doing the live shows. It's hard to do the live shows because I work in the evenings. So that's 5 days right there. I cannot do a live show. And I'm trying to have at least one of my days off not spent doing nothing but work in front of my computer, because I got to do family stuff on that day. So this is the other day. So I'm like, okay, I still got to do family stuff, but also I'm making time to go live, because I like going live. I got StreamYard specifically so I could go live and have it be a more interesting experience and a steadier experience, because the connection is always excellent. Remember back in the day, I used to have connection issues. So I'm like, well, I still got to do these live shows. I want to do live shows. I want to connect with you guys. And so I'm like, okay, the year's almost over. Got to do this Talking the Orville live show. And I want to bring back live shows to Egotastic Fun Time. So I'm doing that next week. So hopefully I'll see some of you guys there. If you don't have a link for that, and if it's not in the description, because it's probably not, Don't worry, I'll be bothering you with it at some point on the community page and on the social medias. Barry says, I hope Superman will be good. I just feel like the aesthetics of the characters is a bit wonky. I don't know. I'll have to see. And also it depends on what version of Superman, because there's TV version of Superman, there's movie version of Superman, there's various comic book versions of Superman. There's 60s Superman, 40s Superman, 80s, 90s, 2000s now. Excuse me. So it's hard. It's hard to nail down the right aesthetics. The aesthetics that we always want is the first Superman movie. The first Superman movie is an epic. It'll never be beaten. So it's hard. It's hard. All I know is, like with Batman, for instance, we had our first Batman movie in 1989. Michael Keaton loved it. Batman Returns came out. Wow, was that 91, 92? Pretty great. And then we got some weird Superman movies. But then Chris Nolan's Batman series came out, and that was a whole like, oh yeah, now this is a Batman movie. This is the way we thought we wanted the original Batman movie in '89 to be. And now we got whatever Batman is now. So, there's going to be there's different versions of Superman. So I figure they're probably taken from a little bit of the comical side of Superman, which is fine with me because I didn't need a Superman movie at all. I'm so happy with Superman the motion picture. I never need a Superman movie because Christopher Reeve was just perfect, absolutely perfect. I love Superman, but I could just have Superman live in my heart, just like he lives in each and every one of our hearts. But if they come out with a fun Superman, I might give it a go. Curtis Tate is here. Curtis Tate, good Trek ends. Bad Trek won't go away. Good Trek ends. Are you talking about, because I'm so behind on Trek because I just don't care that much, even though I don't really hate any of the new stuff anymore. I do know that Lower Decks just ended. I'm behind on that. I haven't watched any of the new season. I think I watched the last season, but I'm not sure. That's how invested I am. I'm sure I will be watching Strange New Worlds when that comes out. I do know that the Section 31 thing's coming out. I have no interest in that. I'm not a fan of the what's-her-face character. I can't remember her, but she's an irredeemable character to me because she eats Saru people. I'm like, if you're gonna eat Saru people, you're irredeemable to me. But that part of the universe, that timeline is not my thing. The Picard series, season 3 was great. Season 2 was a little. Season 1 and 2, I'm like, okay, I can take it. It'll be okay-ish. It's not quite Star Trek, but it's kind of fun. Picard, having an adventure. Okay. Oh, I really like the way Orions look, stuff like that. Actually, with Discovery, I like the way Orions looked. Did not like the way Andorians looked. But season 3 of Picard, I absolutely loved. I'm like, this is Star Trek to me. That was Star Trek. Strange New Worlds is kind of. I like Strange New Worlds, but it's kind of a Trek Avatar, I guess. I like it. It's fun. I like the characters. It doesn't give me that same feeling that Legacy Trek gave me in the 90s. But I like Lower Decks, and I like Picard. I'm okay with Strange New Worlds. I don't like Discovery. And I know, even though I haven't seen it, I will not like Section 31 because I never liked the premise of Section 31 anyway. Talking to you, Deep Space Nine, don't like Section 31. But yeah, what's her face? I don't like. That was a huge rant, wasn't it? Dang it, Curtis Tate, you made me have a rant. Yeah, Lower Decks was fun. I will miss it. Yeah, I like it a lot. I really like Lower Decks, but I'm never like excited to watch it again. I'm like, I'll just go watch the Orville, or I'll just watch some documentary on YouTube. I've been finding a lot of great documentaries about the financial world, but I won't get into it. DJ129, also happy 25th to Family Guy. 25 years ago. Oh yeah, 25 years goes by fast. Yes, I watched a little bit of Family Guy a week or two ago. I used to watch Family Guy like nobody's business. I mean, I was all about it because I love Family Guy. But I've kind of just in the last couple of years have just haven't had time, haven't thought about to watch it, Well, I've popped maybe 1 or 2 episodes on the last couple of years, but the other day I was like, man, I'm in the mood to watch Family Guy. So I watched some newer Family Guy. I'm like, the show is still great. It ain't missing a thing. It's just as great, if not even greater than it used to be. Yeah, Strange New Worlds is more like fan fiction. I get that. I get that, Curtis. But I like it. I mean, there's adventures that they've had on Strange New Worlds where I'm like, okay, that was fun. Well, that time travel thing was kind of fun. I dig that. I like it. It's a little bit. It's episodic. I think all sci-fi of that nature should be episodic and not serialized, because we need a new adventure each week with an ending, a conclusion at the end. It's the conclusion that's satisfying. If we can't get that conclusion, if it's just, wait till the next episode for the next part of the story, man, that makes me so mad. It's like Locutus, the Locutus of Borg finale over and over again. That was the worst summer ever. Oh my God, Picard has turned into a Borg. Oh, gotta wait till next season. It's that every single episode. So I like episodic. With season 4 of the Orville, what do you want most out of it? That's easy. I want Seth to do whatever he wants to do, just like he's done every season, and what he will do in this season. Because what he wants to do is usually more than what I wanted him to do. He usually gives us so much more. Like, I'll come up with scenarios and he'll just come up with something even better. Then I'm like, I didn't even know I wanted that. But I'm expecting to see. I want more reveal of what is really going on with the Moclan society. They've been lying for who knows how long about the female portion of their population. Huge conspiracy, huge cover up, embedded systematically into the culture forever. I want to know how that started. When did it start? Why did it start? When did they get the ability to start giving sex reassignment surgeries to females that were born, secretly born? How have they been trying to cover? What's the process? What has the process been trying to cover up something that crazy? I mean, that female child had parents. The parents know that the child was born a female, and they're not talking. So how's the rumors never gotten out? But apparently in the underground, the rumors have gotten out, because that's why we have Havina. That's why we have the sanctuary. So I want a lot more on that, because I believe there is a lot more to tell. I want it all uncovered. It's a huge conspiracy, and I need to know. I want Ed Mercer to be reunited with his daughter. How is that going to happen? It's not just going to be simple. We have Talia in prison. Is she going to become a political prisoner, or is she going to escape like she did last time? Because she used to be a lower level political, not even quite political, but she was a prisoner of the Union after season 1, after episode 6. But she escaped. If you read the comic books, it'll the Word of Avis, which I believe is the second story. I think it's issue 3, but it's the second story. We learn how she escaped from Union prison and got back, and then what? So I want Anaya to be reunited, but it's going to have to be a huge to do. I don't even know if they'll be able to resolve it in the 4th season. It might take a couple of seasons to get Anaya back. How quickly does Anaya age? I mean, she was probably what, 4 or 5, maybe 3 years old when we saw her, but she seemed a little bit older than that. So, do the krill age a little bit more quickly than humans, just like the Mocklins do? I want to see what married life is like for Isaac and Claire. I want to know how the stepfather thing is going with the boys, because there's going to be things with the boys that where they're going to have life issues. How is Isaac going to handle his role as a stepfather? Is he going to provide good guidance? Probably not. It's probably going to be robot guidance because he doesn't quite get the situation. So he's probably going to give them bad advice and then learn through the episode how to give them better advice, what to consider first. I want to see if John and Tala are able to work out some sort of system where they can start knocking boots again, because they liked it. They were having a good time. They like each other. So there's so much going on. I know we're not going to have Ted Danson in season 4, because spoiler alert, Ted Danson didn't make it out of season 3. Orville rewatch. Now, eventually we will get back to doing our Orville watch parties. We finished season 1 this year. Just a few months ago, we finished all of season 1. What was it, once a month? We got to start on season 2. So in 2025, we are going to start the season 2 watch party of the Orville. Now, I still got to figure it out because, like I said, I can't do a lot of live shows like I used to because I work all the time. So I have to figure out how to get that going. Because if I do a live show, that means I can't do a regular us talking, just having a great chat type of live show, which a lot of people seem to like these just hanging out, chatting stuff. So the watch parties, we got to do them. But I got to figure out what it's going to take because I want to do them. If I start one, I want to make it steady, at least once a month, because I want to do a watch party. I want to do a regular hanging out together live show. I want to bring back the Union live show. We're going to be doing the Orville RPG live shows. I'm also at least once a month to do an Egotastic Fun Time live show. So I got a lot to figure out, but I will figure it out. I will always figure it out. I'll find a way to make it work. So maybe if we're back into the watch parties, maybe during those months we won't be doing the Union. I don't know. I'll figure it out. There'll be some give and take, but a lot more give than take. That's true. Actually, no, that's not even true. Dax Jacobson says Ted Danson is still alive inside of the good place. No, he got out of the good place. Remember? They sent him back to Earth at the end. Spoiler alert. But maybe he's lived his life on Earth and he's back in the good place. Maybe a couple of Jeremy Bearamys have gone by at this point. All I know is Ted Danson is in a new show on Netflix. Inside Man, I think it's called. I haven't watched it yet, but it looks like a fun show. It looks like he's kind of got like a Michael type character that he's playing, a guy that's pretending to be an undercover private eye or something like that for the government. I don't know. I don't know the plot, but it looks kind of fun. Yes, Chris says, I want to see more Alara appearances. Yeah, and like I've said before, I want to see a good Alara appearance. I don't need Alara back permanently. I just want an episode where she is part of the mission, where we got a mission where we got to do this or that, and it's Selayan related, and we need our top Selayans help to help our current Selayan, Tala. I need Tala and Alara to team up on an episode. That would be the most awesome thing. Fans would just be going crazy. Oh my God, did you see Alara and Tala beat up a bunch of Mocklins? That was amazing. Yeah, Alara ripped that one dude's arms off. I know. I didn't know the Orville would go that far. Well, they'll go that far. They'll rip a dude's arms off if they have to. Yeah, just quit asking John. Curtis says more to Leia, definitely. She's a big character. She's a really popular character, a well remembered character. So we have to see. I mean, she usually gets what, 1-2 episodes per season ever since we met her. So let's give her 1 or 2, some really good meaty stuff. I mean, we maybe have her start in a union prison. She escapes, Shawshank Redemption style, except for she's the bad guy, and then gets out and goes back to Krill and starts trouble up all over again. Maybe it happens right after we think that, oh, we're gonna get Anaya back. Oh, it's happening. Oh, we got all the paperwork. Okay, we got permission to go, and then all of a sudden Talia's there. Nope, ain't gonna happen. What? What other team ups would you like to see? Well, a very popular team up, a team up that's always been great, is Kelly with Bortus. Kelly and Bortus have become great friends, as we saw in season 3 when they had that look, that moment, that beat that they took with each other, of silence, which a lot of people thought was like a romance thing. I don't think it's a romance thing at all. I think it's a friendship thing. I think it's you're very important to my daughter. You were there for us when I was alone, when Clyden left, and my daughter is female, which is not common in my people. So for you to be a female role model for her means the world to me. Thank you. Also, we've been working 9 to 5, zapping some fools with our energy blasters. Let's go do that again real quick. They're really good together. Love that. We have not gotten enough of a fun buddy cop style team up from John and Gordon. Everybody loves John and Gordon together. We have not gotten enough of that, especially in the line of duty. We get them hanging out on the ship, things like that, but them out there on a mission of some sort. How would that go? It's the two of them. Like, remember when Malcolm and it was Malcolm and Trip, they were stuck on that shuttle together, freezing to death. That was a fun episode. Let's get something like that for John and Gordon. They could talk about Bortus's bum. Brian says, I like where we can hang out and talk about everything. Well, Brian, that's going to be what Egotastic Fun Time live shows are about. On Talking the Orville, we start with the Orville, and then they can go wherever they want, which is fine. Variety is the spice of life, and he who controls the spice of life controls the spice of the universe. But Egotastic Fun Time, we're going to start off with wherever we want, and then maybe it'll wrap around and come back to the Orville. Who knows? But yeah, I got to get Egotastic Fun Time to become a thing, because when there's not Orville to talk about, I'd like to have another place to create where I don't have to keep talking, where I don't have to try to keep the Orville alive for 3 years between seasons. There's always something for me to do with the Orville, but I want to do more things, and it all can't be just the Orville, because then my brain will fizzle out. And I'm like, well, I wanted to talk about the potassium in a banana. That would have been fun, because I don't fear bananas. But no, I should go do an Orville video. But I do have this really cool idea now that there's AI, and I've been figuring out how to use it. And I have different programs. What I've been working at is making something with AI, putting it into Photoshop, making the changes I want to make, and then putting it into another AI video program to make it look animated, like it's real. Like, a person staring at the camera, and the camera is panning by or zooming in or something like that. So I've been experimenting with that. I would like to do an AI video of what if the Orville was created by Gene Roddenberry. Make it where it's the Orville. It's the characters from the Orville. They're on set. They're standing in front of a camera, but they were designed by Gene Roddenberry, or I don't know, M. Night Shyamalan. Something specific. That would be fun. But I got a lot of ideas. Most of my, and then for Egotastic Fun Time, those AI ideas will mostly be taking a picture and just making it look more alive, so that the video is a little bit more interesting, but not making anything crazy fake or anything like that. That's right. JP Deck says JP can do it all. I try, and I have to calm down, because the way my brain has always worked is I'll come up with something I'm excited about. I'll start working on it. But while I'm working on it, I'm coming up with other things that I'm excited about. And because I'm excited about these new things that are in my head, I'm less excited about the thing that I'm working on. And then that drags me down. And then I start working on the thing that I am excited about. And the same thing happens over and over and over again, until finally I've worked on all this stuff and nothing is done. So I have to get better at that. And I'm trying. See, right there, that's perfect. DJ 129 says, what if the Orville was created by Trey Parker and Matt Stone? See, what you do with the AI is, like, say it's all about prompts. And so far I noticed that with the Twitters, and yes, it's called Twitter. I'm not doing this X thing. It's always been Twitter. So many years of Twitter jokes that are null and void because they changed the name. So I'm not doing it. It's Twitter. So Twitter's Grok AI program has no limits. I mean, you can make whatever you want pretty much. So you can say, oh, Seth MacFarlane as Captain Ed Mercer wearing an Orville uniform in the and then put in the style of South Park. And it'll create it best as it can to be Seth MacFarlane in an Orville uniform, but it looks like it was drawn by the South Park team. And so, yeah, that can totally be done. It's all about, well, not necessarily with Twitter. Twitter just don't care. They'll just do whatever you want it to do. Sometimes you want to say resembles Seth MacFarlane with other AI, because other AI has rules. And it'll make something that looks kind of like Seth MacFarlane, but Twitter will make something that looks exactly like Seth MacFarlane. But yeah, you just put it in the style of South Park, and it'll shoot it out for you, and it looks great. And then you take that and you put it into the AI video program, which that one I don't practice with too much because it costs money every single time. So I'm like, I don't use it until I know exactly the words, the prompts I want to give it, because you can't just make one. Oh, that's not right. I'm gonna make another one. No, because it costs money. And money's not something I have a lot of. So yeah, you put that into the AI animator and it'll animate it. It's a crazy world we live in, and it's all just been happening in the last couple months. The world has changed. It's faker than it used to be. The world has already been pretty fake the last few years. Now it's even more fake. It's more realistically fake. That's why Egotastic Fun Time's new theme is everything on the internet is real. Because that's the point of view that I'm going in. With whatever I make on Egotastic Fun Time, it's coming from the point of view that everything on the internet is real. Are puppies that cute? Yes, they are. Are the new Amazon drones that have been flying around everywhere that just got their patent approved a couple of weeks ago, and now all of a sudden there's drones? Are those aliens? Yes, those are aliens. Everything is real. If you heard it, it's real. Welcome to Egotastic Fun Time. But also, and I've done this already, just because I'm really practicing the AI prompts. What if the Orville was created by Family Guy, by Seth MacFarlane's Family Guy? You can do that. I have my new thumbnail for the live show on Egotastic Fun Time live show next week is already scheduled. It already has the thumbnail. And the thumbnail, when I was originally making it, I made like 100 versions of it, because you have to make like 100 things before you find something that's like, okay, that looks kind of the way I wanted it. There's oh, I just spit on my microphone. Take it, microphone. Haktua. I said, I described myself, and then I said, make him look like Peter Griffin from Family Guy. And it was but in the style of Pixar. And it was Peter Griffin in style of Pixar. I'm like, well, I don't want it to, I don't look exactly like Peter Griffin, so I don't want it to look exactly like that. So I made a bunch of changes. But that's what it looked like right off the bat. And I'm like, man, you can do anything with this AI. Yeah, I've seen that, Dustin. Dustin says American Dad did have Roger in the Union uniform. Oh, on the show? And I've seen a picture. I didn't know it was actually on the show. That's really cool. Dustin says, rip internet. Yeah, the internet is dead. Social media is dead. You know, half of social media, because most of social media is now just videos. No matter what platform you're on, it's mostly just videos. Half of those videos are just regular people hawking merch for their platform store. You go on TikTok, it's just a regular Karen hawking makeup on her TikTok store. That's just starting on YouTube. I just got an email from YouTube yesterday. Apparently there's a YouTube shop now. So now you can start making videos, hawking crap, and say, just check it out on my YouTube store. You can get it on my YouTube store. I understand why people do that. If that's fine, I understand it. But the problem with these types of situations is don't even do it, because at some point soon there'll be so many people doing it that there's no point in anybody doing it. It's just like with rideshare. 2015, for like 2 or 3 years, being a rideshare driver was very profitable. It was a good business, but then there became so many people doing it that now it's the biggest ripoff you can ever do to yourself. You have to be in a very specific market. There's still markets out there. You might live in a market where rideshares works well for you, but most markets are not that, because there's so many people. Now I hear stories from people saying, oh, I do well, I get this and that. I'm like, that's great. But most of the markets are not like this. Market that I'm in is not like that. But there are some out there. So if you find a market where rideshare works for you, awesome. But at the moment it's not working, even for a week, stop doing it. Maybe come back a month later. But who can do that? Who can just go back and forth, stop working for a month, and then come back to working for a month? So it makes it tough. For my market, it didn't work. I tried to make it work. I tried to be optimistic about it, but it was a ripoff because there's too many people doing it where I'm at. But there are places, I ain't gonna say there's not. I try not to paint with a broad brush. A pretty large brush, but it's not overly broad. Dex says, I love this idea. Come on board the Orville and meet some friends of mine. Go into the I could do that song. I don't think if I did that song, I don't think it would be flagged, because most of the songs just it's just noises, and then I'd be singing in all new words. Ooh, come on down the Orville, meet some friends of mine. Boom. I don't have the lyrics yet. You got to give me a couple more minutes. But that's a fun idea. Dustin says, feel that rideshare pain. Used to do that too. Year one, I cleared 55K after tax. See, that's awesome. Year two, I barely broke 25 after tax, so I threw in the towel. That's smart. The first couple of years when that thing came out, it was a great opportunity for people. But now everyone's doing it. So everyone's doing the TikTok shop. Eventually, probably a couple of weeks from now, everyone's going to be doing the YouTube shop. I'm like, you know what? I'm just staying away from that stuff. Sure, I need money like anybody, but I'm not gonna sell myself out. Like, I've had a lot of people throughout the year say, "Oh, just get some sponsors, get a YouTube sponsor." I have to say, for the last year, I've gotten 5 emails a day, every day, about YouTube sponsorships. Hey, we'll do a YouTube sponsorship, blah 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 blah, and I ignore them all because they're all crap. It's like spam. Help us sell our shovel. I'm like, I'm not gonna hawk a shovel on my channel. My my viewers don't need a shovel. And what are they paying? They're paying, oh, you get a portion of all the shovels you sell. I'm like, well, I plan on selling no shovels. I'll do the commercial, sell no shovels, and get 5% of nothing. 5% of nothing is nothing. So yeah, once you do YouTube for a while, you do start getting offers, but they're 99.9% junk offers. I've gotten one or two good offers over the years. One time I got a Skillshare offer, and that was fun. That was fine. They paid. It wasn't like super great money, but they paid what they said they were going to pay for 3 videos. So I did 3 1-minute videos across 3 videos, and they paid for each one. I mean, but it's not that much money because they're only going to let you make one a month. I'm like, oh, so 150 bucks a month, still not worth doing it. Just go get a regular job. So now that I have a regular job, I'm very happy to have that regular job, and now I know better. I'm still glad I quit my job that I had 5 years ago when I quit my other job, because that was not the right job. So YouTube allowed me, even through all the pains of YouTube, it allowed me to get out of that job, that dead end job, learn a bunch of life experiences that I take with me. I try to be a life experience guy where I learn something and then I learn how to move forward in life with this new mindset or new skill or new just thing that I learned. And now I have this new job, which pays me a little bit more than my previous job. And I like it a lot. And I'm learning a lot about um, social media because it's a social media job. And it allows, and it's got nothing but room to move up, nothing but room to soar and expand and become more than I currently am. Rising phoenix in the corporate world. It's one of those cool corporate worlds where it's at least baked into the corporate motto that they kind of care about the workers. And so far I see that, so that's good. I got to meet Santa Claus yesterday at work. Santa was there. I got a picture with Santa. I asked him if he wanted to sit on my lap, because I'm like, this is old man Santa. He was a great looking Santa. I'm like, Santa, you don't want me to sit on your lap. But yeah, I got to take a picture of Santa. He was a great Santa, and that was a fun thing I got to do at my job. So I really like the job, but I have opportunities there, and that's nice. There would never have been opportunities at my previous job. Yes, Dax, I will, just like Superman did at one point. Will JP become an energy-based life form with this new job? Yes. Yes, I will. I shall be energy. It'll be an energy drink. I'll be an energy drink. I'll be just basically JP Bull, and I'll give you wings. Joy Don says, my internet is crapping out. Rip internet. Y'all have a great day. Joy, thank you for stopping by. I'm so sorry to hear about your internet. My internet does that every once in a while. My internet did that day before yesterday when I was working on something that was internet based. And I was like, oh, because when I start working on something, I don't want to stop and I don't want distractions. But the internet not working was a huge distraction, preventing me from doing what I was doing. DJ129, will JP ever cameo on the Orville, even as a voice? Ooh, that'd be nice. I would do anything Seth wants, I will do. I'm pretty sure Seth isn't thinking about that, isn't worried about that. He's probably more thinking about getting to the new studio. Oh, I feel like I got to sneeze. No, JP, it's the holidays. You can't sneeze on the holidays. Okay, JP, I won't. Good job. I'm sure he's thinking more about getting to the new studio to start cranking out some Orville. I don't know where the new studio is. I'm sure it's in Los Angeles because Seth has a lot going on in Los Angeles. He can't be going away somewhere. So I'm sure it's going to be at a Hulu or a Disney studio somewhere. But what if they decide, because Disney owns Fox, what if they decide, if it's available, to use the Fox studios again? They have a whole relationship there. It's all part of the groove. They know what's going on over there. It's technically owned by Disney. So what if the Orville will be filming at Fox again? That'd be great. I know exactly where it is. I've been there, you guys. Oh, hold on, you guys. All right. Be safe. Drive safe. Oh, that's right. I got to go too. Oh, my gosh. Well, I have to get ready really quickly once I finish the stream. I got to finish the stream, you guys. I forgot. I have to go. I have stepfather duties. Let me tell you my stepfather duties. Okay, they can wait. We can just hang out a little bit longer. They'll wait for me. Don't tell her I said that. My stepson is going next week after Christmas. He's flying out to visit his biological father, but his phone just crapped out, and we can't have him away from home without a way of contacting him, without a phone. You never know what's going to happen. He's at the airport. He's going to need a phone. So his phone that he's already on my plan, his phone is eligible for an upgrade. So I'm saying, okay, we'll go to the phone store here in just a couple minutes, you guys, and get him an upgrade. But the upgrade has to be absolutely free and not add to the phone bill at all. At all. So as long as those two things happen and I'm not paying a dime, you can pay the connection fee. I'm not going to pay because I don't have it. Then we will get him a new phone because he has to have a phone. So we're going to go do that right now. Man, this live stream went fast. I can't believe it's been almost an hour and a half. I can't believe it. Usually I do an hour and I'm like, oh, okay, it's done. But I missed you guys. Chris says, oh, no, JP, don't tell her I said that on a recorded stream. I know. Hey, I can edit it out. I can edit this out. I'll have to wait till tomorrow because you have to wait for the whole thing to process before you can do anything with it on YouTube. So once it's processed, then I can go in and edit this out. I mean, it's a big pain in the butt, but I can do that, you guys. So don't test me. All right. So I'll see you all very soon. Thank you so much for all your support, for this end of the year super chats. Absolutely appreciated, needed, loved, and all the things. Super excited. We'll be back very soon. We'll be back next month on Talking the Orville with the Orville RPG finale, the final episode of season 1. Season 2 will be worked on for a while, and then we'll come back to that. But we got a lot of stuff to do before that. Check me out over on Egotastic Fun Time. Nothing super exciting over there right now, but once I get my next Orville video out next week, I'm going to spend some time making some Egotastic Fun Time videos. So there'll be something to talk about when I go live on Saturday. But I'll see you all very soon. And remember, we all do better when we all do better together. Now, of course, that's my outro line. It's my tagline for Talking to Orville. Help me come up with a tagline for Egotastic Fun Time. Besides, the internet is real. That's a little creepy, don't you think? But I'll see you all very soon. Love you. Bye-bye. Happy holidays.